Hey guys, it's Jessica, and today I'm going to share with you a review and demo of the new CoverGirl foundation. This is their Vitalist Healthy Elixir foundation. They say that it has vitamins, it's got sunscreen, SPF of 20. I have it in the shade 710, which is the second to lightest shade. They have 14 shades and it's around $11.99 at least at Ulta. On Ulta's website they only have 6 shades, but on CoverGirl's website it says they have 14. So I'm sure it depends on where you go. Let's go ahead and read the claims of this foundation and then I will show you my demo of me applying it. I'm wearing it today. So CoverGirl says, discover healthy looking skin. Bottled. New Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation is infused with vitamins E, B3, B5 plus SPF 20 for correction, protection, and perfection all in one. This full coverage foundation makes skin glow with a healthy look from the inside out. It is definitely not a full coverage foundation. When I think of full coverage, I think of the L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover, which I'm going to show you. This is not my favorite foundation just because it can be drying, but it is definitely full coverage. Look at the swatch here of this foundation. This is what I think of when I think of full coverage. I don't think of a more liquidy product that really kind of ends up shearing out the more you put it on. I think of this kind of a foundation. It's kind of thicker, more mousse-like, but it actually stays in place, but it can be drying. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing that this is not full coverage, and I'll explain what I mean in a second. They also claim that this gives a healthy look. That I totally agree with. I think this foundation ends up giving your skin life, where it looks like you're a normal person and you're alive, but it just looks that much more perfected. I would rate this as a medium coverage maximum, but it's really beautiful. So let's go ahead and look at this product in action so you can kind of get a better idea of what I mean. Okay, so I'm going to apply this, I'm just going to apply it to my hand first, and I'm using my L'Oreal blender. This is actually a brand new one, but I have one that I've been using a ton that I love. And let's just go ahead and dive right in. This is a pretty decent color match for me. This is the shade 710. And this does have SPF of 20, which I appreciate. I wish it were a little higher, but at the same time, usually my moisturizer has an SPF. Gosh, this L'Oreal sponge is not as good as like the first one I got, I feel like. It's a little bit harder to work with. But you can see it's got some decent coverage. I have a bug bite right here and like a breakout up there. I'm kind of a mess right now, but it still has some decent coverage. Okay, this is like way more firm than it should be. I might have to switch to a different, I mean, this is crazy, it's different. Okay, so I switched to my Flower Beauty one, which I don't know if you can tell, but this one's like crazy squishy and this one's like really dense. But my other L'Oreal one wasn't, so I don't know if I just got a bad batch, I don't know. So let's keep going with my Flower Beauty one. I'll link both of these below. I just love how this foundation makes my skin still look like skin. It doesn't make it look older than I actually am, because I just realized with so many foundations, I might like them when I first apply them, but as I look at myself in different lighting throughout the day, I just feel like it ages me. I'm only 28 years old and I feel like sometimes I look older than I really am. Especially like if you see me in person, you know? Now, you can still see a little bit of redness. I don't think this is a high coverage foundation, but I think if you don't have a lot to cover, this is like a step above a tinted moisturizer or BB cream because it does have that coverage, but it also adds this luminosity. It's not shimmery by any means. It's just healthy looking. I think that they've titled this really well. It really, every time I've worn this, I've been wearing it for a couple of weeks, I feel like, yes. And it's like all day long. I feel like it wears pretty well. It covers enough. And if you ever feel like, you know, you need a little bit more coverage, you could always bring a powdered foundation, a powder foundation or something like that. If you ever felt like you needed more coverage, you know, you could apply more. I've done essentially 2 layers here and I feel like that's about as much coverage as it can get. For me, my nose is always red, so I feel like that's an area where I'm kind of self-conscious. Even in videos, you can see it no matter how much I try to cover it. It's kind of crazy. But I feel like that's something I could just dust some powder foundation on that because the rest of my skin looks so nice with it that I still think it's worth it. So obviously I do like this foundation a lot. Do I think it's something that I would wear to like an event where there would be flash photography? No, because there's SPF of 20. I don't want a chance of having a ghost flashback kind of a white face like that. But The packaging is stunning. I think CoverGirl finally, I feel like they've been, and I don't mean this in a mean way, CoverGirl, not that you're watching because I'm sure you're not, but I feel like they've been kind of, not behind the times, but kind of behind the times when it comes to like, everyone else is like doing all this trendy stuff and cute packaging, and I feel like CoverGirl's just like, they're kind of trying, but they keep missing the mark. And I think they really hit this out of the park this time around. The gold and the white packaging with the clear lid, the fact that it has a pump, the fact that it's more healthy for your skin. I feel like we're all just kind of looking for something that looks nice, but we're not ruining our skin. You know what I mean? I'm so tired of wearing foundations, honestly, like this one, where my skin ends up just looking older than it really is. And I do think this does a great job of making you look beautiful. So all in all, do I think you need to run out and buy it? Yes, only if you can find a shade that works, because you know, drugstore foundations don't always have the widest shade range. I think 14 shades is pretty good compared to some, but I do know that some other drugstore ranges do have more of a color selection. However, if you know that everything I've shown and said about this is totally up your alley and you're looking for something like that, then absolutely go run out and get it. I hope that this video was helpful for you guys, and if you're interested in more of my drugstore review videos, I will link my playlist below. I've done tons of foundation reviews, tons of reviews of all kinds of products out there, so hopefully you can find something that you are interested in. And other than that, I hope you'll subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.